Hey, friends, welcome back to Vinyl Riffs with Sean Gaillard. Today's episode started the way some of the best musical discoveries begin, not with a search, but with a conversation. My good friend Max Pizarro sent me a text about Link Wray's self titled 1971 album. Now, most people know Link Wray for Rumble, one of the most influential instrumentals in rock history. But this record, this is something entirely different. It's unreal, it's surreal, and somehow it's one of the most real records in my collection. Even better, I found this particular album a few years ago, an original first pressing of this album at Underdog Records in Winston-Salem. Max's text felt like a nudge from the universe, encouraging me to spend some more time with this album. Sometimes the records that are meant to be with us come from a nudge in a conversation. Oddly enough, I first discovered this album through the HBO series Barry. If you've never seen it, the show stars Bill Hader as Barry Berkman, a hitman trying to reinvent himself as an actor, alongside an incredible cast that includes Henry Winkler, who won an Emmy for his performance. Fun fact, I met Henry Winkler a couple of years ago when he was promoting his memoir. He is cool and kind. Heck, he's the Fonz. Anyway, at the end of the season two premiere of Barry, La Di Da, the opening track of this album, plays over the closing credits of season two, episode one. It was somehow uneasy and strangely beautiful. And I remember immediately thinking, what is this song? I stopped what I was doing and looked it up. And down the rabbit hole I went, as I often do when it comes to music. What fascinates me about this album is the opposite of what people expected from Link Wray. By 1971, he could have kept trying to recreate Rumble. Instead, he walked away from expectations. The album was recorded in a converted chicken shack on his Maryland property called Ray's Shack 3 track. They stomped on the floor for percussion, shook cans of nails for rhythm, put amplifiers outside and mic'd them through windows. It was rough, homemade, and completely authentic. This wasn't a commercial calculation. This was an artist making the music he wanted to make. Now here's the leadership riff. And that's where the leadership lesson lives for me. The world knew Link Wray as one thing. He chose to become something else. That takes courage, it takes guts. How many times do we stay trapped inside an old version of ourselves because people expect us to do so? How many leaders spend their energy protecting a reputation instead of pursuing a purpose? This record reminds me that growth often sounds different than success. Sometimes the next chapter doesn't look like the last one, and that's okay. This album matters for so many reasons. And so when I listen to Link Wray, I hear humanity, I hear gospel, I hear country, I hear the blues, I hear swamp rock, I hear rhythm and blues, I hear folk music. I hear somebody searching, somebody experimenting, somebody trying to tell the truth. The album blended all of those influences in something deeply personal and unlike anything Link Wray had released before. Songs like Fallen Rain, Fire and Brimstone, and La Di Da don't feel manufactured. They feel lived. And maybe that's why they continue to resonate. So, in closing, consider these things. Here's my vinyl riff for today. Some of the best records in your collection won't be the famous ones. They'll be the ones discovered through a friend's text or even on the closing credits of a television show. It could be found in a conversation, a record store visit, a moment when curiosity quietly taps you on the shoulder. Thanks, Max, for the recommendation to pick up this album again. And thanks to the HBO show Barry for putting La Di Da in my path. And thanks most importantly to Link Wray for reminding us that sometimes the bravest thing we can do is to stop repeating ourselves and start becoming ourselves. Keep spinning, keep grooving, keep believing. And if you come across an original pressing of this one in the wild, don't leave it behind. This is Sean Gaillard with Vinyl Riffs. Thanks so much for tuning in. Look forward to catching you on the flip side.